Hi, our game is Flos. You are currently a owner of a flower shop that originally belonged to your best friend who recently passed away. Their final wish was for you to continue running their store, but you are an introverted imbecile who doesn't know anything about flowers. So you as a character must learn how to deal with customers as well as learn about flowers. In the process of doing such, they make new friends and maybe a potential love interest, allowing them to grow as a person. There's no necessary win category to this as much as it's a story about learning about yourself and how to grow as a person. It's styled in such a way where it could be an endless game where you're just maintaining a flower shop, and I've always enjoyed micromanagement games, but I don't like the ones that are very stressful, so I was going for a kind of chill feel.
The name of the game is Escape from U of A. In 2032, an experiment on human immortality failed, creating mutant monsters. Once bitten by these monsters, the mutation will spread. The army, routed by their large numbers, sent helicopters to rescue those who are still alive. You are the only surviving human at the University of Arizona, and you have responded to the signal. A helicopter is waiting for you, but not for long. You need to find and reach the location within the allotted time. This is your last chance to get out alive.
For our 2D game, which is called Rooke, pretty much you play as a little amphibious dwarf by the name of Rooke, hence the title. The whole objective of the game is to just traverse different oceanic landscapes, and along the way you'll encounter different enemies. We have a hound which will actually lunge towards you. We also have little slimes which just touching them will harm you. And then we even have jellyfish, which one of the interesting mechanics is that we have it so then you can actually stand on top of the jellyfish head. If you touch its tendrils, then you'll actually take damage. And pretty much the game itself is a 2D platformer. We used a lot of pixel art sprites using Sprite, which I was in charge of doing a lot of the artwork for this. So then I made most of the actual player animations, while a lot of my team did the programming behind it. Pretty much you have your basic WASD movement keys. There's a double jump, standard jump. We also have a dash, and then there are different projectile attacks which can be charged up. The longer you hold it down, the more damage and the bigger the projectile is. And there's also a melee slash attack, which I had a lot of fun animating that.
The name of this game is Cat-A-Tonic. You're playing as a cat, and your owner is trying to enjoy his 5 o'clock gin and tonic, but since you're a cat, you want to knock it over. So as your owner makes his drink and sets it down in various places in your house, your objective is to find a way to get to the drink and knock it over.
The name of the game is Candy Mayhem. Lustful Licorice has sent his army of deformed candy cronies to devastate the prosperous lands of King Candy Cane, and only a duel between them can resolve their feud. Guide the king across treacherous terrain and try not to get stuck fighting gummies as you bring them together for a platforming action showdown.
The name of our 2D game is Dungeon Master. The objective is to reach the boss and kill the final boss within the dungeon. It's a typical dungeon crawler game where you go around different rooms and kill a bunch of enemies. The details of the game are that there are a bunch of different enemies based off goblins. They all have their own unique shooting patterns and movement systems, and to give variety for the player. One is a trenchcoat goblin that flashes you and stuns the player and flashes the screen white, and another is a cat lady goblin that shoots a bunch of cats out and they bounce off the walls like crazy. We have a few other varieties in there as well. And then the main boss is a big slime goblin shooting a bunch of slime balls at you.
Stellar Drift is a 2D obstacle course type game where you pilot a little ship and you have to fly it around and avoid hitting things over a series of levels that will, change obstacles and stuff. The objective is to get to the end. You have to conserve fuel. It's called Stellar Drift because the main mechanic is drifting. You have to do gravity slingshots around a lot of stuff, and if you run out of fuel, you can't get to the end.
The name of the game is Flickering Whispers. Trying to find shelter, this poor slime hides in a cave, but slips and falls into a crevasse. His descent is an eerie journey into depths inhabited by slithering snakes, zombies, robed wizards, and stalking gophers with bazookas. Can the slime escape the cave using only the limited structural integrity that makes his kind both so vulnerable and so cute? That much is up to you.